live with another episode, you guys. You're here with your host, Miss Cologne, one of the very own sweethearts, and we're here with.
You already know what it is. You know, Joe. You already know what it is.
Okay, and we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself for us, please?
I will. I'm Michael Keo from Boston. Singer, songwriter, performance art, pretty much, yeah, etc.
Okay,
Dot, dot, dot.
the list
Right.
goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us.
You trying to eat the candy?
I was trying I'm trying to be sweet.
Yo, it's the fact she was really trying to focus and eat the candy at the
I
same
was.
time.
So, what got you into music? How did this all start?
I would say it kind of started with like impersonating voices. It's funny, like I would kind of imitate other singers and not knowing, like I'm like I kind of sound like this person, and then I'm like, let me try it on my own. You know what I mean? And kind of went from there pretty much, and you know. I had some family members that sang too, but it wasn't like to this level. But yeah, I mean, it started sounding good. People kind of gave me compliments, so I kind of kept with it, and it kind of just became like, you know, part of what I did. So I'm still at it. I've been doing it for like probably 12 to 15 years now, writing and covering other music. So yeah, it's been a while now.
So I'm assuming you started recording yourself young as well when you.
Yeah, pretty much on the computer, just to like, even just a little recording button, like in the voice memos, you know what I mean? Similar to like on your iPhone, but on the computer back then. Yeah, it started out early. I kind of engineered myself, and that was a lot of work. So I was like, you know, let me go let somebody actually record me and mix down my vocals. And yeah, I've been at it since, so.
We on multiple cameras, y'all. You know, this is.
Okay.
So quick question, because I feel like, because I've been seeing the My Verse challenge on like Instagram and whatnot. Like, how'd you start getting into that? Because that's just kind of crazy.
I seen it, and I seen a lot of other people doing it, and I'm like, I felt like I could do it, you know, if not the same, but better, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's easy, you know what I mean? I could just throw it on the phone, I'll record it at the studio, and I'm like, you know what, let me try this, and people have been liking it, so I'm like, let me just keep doing these. I want to do it every week, you know what I mean? But it's really what they're doing, you know, whatever challenges come out. So I've been doing those, and I'm trying to stick to just putting content out, you know what I mean? Because I think that's important. It's content, covers, you know, doing original music too, but, you know, strictly with the originals, because people hear the original, and then they hear you, and it's like, oh, this kid actually does sound good, you know what I mean? So.
I ain't gonna lie, when I heard that you could sing, I'm like, stop lying, JB. He's like, oh, no, yeah, you could. And then I started hearing your music, I'm like, that ain't Mike. Like, point guard, basketball playing Mike. Like, yeah, right. And then I started seeing your color, and I was just like, oh, shit.
It's kind of funny, yeah, no, people think like I rap. I'm like, I hear it all the time, like, oh, you still rapping? I'm like, I've never rapped in my life. I'm like, I've never rapped in my life. I don't even know where people get it from. I'm like, I don't know if it's the way I dress, I'm like, but nah, yeah, I do this strictly R&B, soul, pop music type of weekend sound, Tory, so.
So I'm assuming they're like heavy influences for your music.
I would say so. I mean, for now, I mean, the current like Tory Lanez, Weekend type of sound now, but I mean, there's so many influences go down the line. I mean, it could be Lloyd, Trey Songz, Chris Brown. I mean, a lot of Motown music. You know.
You said Lloyd.
Lloyd's my guy. Lloyd's my guy. He's my guy. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit, but you know, he's a classic. So.
Is there like a favorite song that you got, like a favorite cover that you did?
Probably. I mean, I just did the Future cover, the Love You Better. I just did that. It's funny because I heard his and I'm like, I gotta do this. Let me see how this sounds. And I'm like, shit, I kind of bodied it. I'm like, shit, I think I did. No, I don't want to say I did it better. He's not really a singer, so it's like, but.
Respectfully.
Yeah, exactly. Respectfully, but I love that one actually because it's, you know, it's up to date. So, but you know, I did a Tory Lanez cover, The Lady of Namek. That was a good one because it's, you know, it sounds very similar. So, but anything in that high type of range, I like to stick to because that's where my strong suit is. So.
High notes, huh?
I was about to say, so you're going to do, what is it, Gallus? Gialis?
Gialis.
What is it?
Gallus.
Gallus?
Gallus.
I don't even
Oh,
know.
well, she
You don't know that song?
No, but
What?
Oh.
Damn.
who is
And-
this? Unless I probably hear it.
What's the
I don't know if it's.
Shout out Capella Gray.
Oh.
Hella great. No, I don't know. If I heard it, it might sound familiar, but I don't know. Is it new or old?
It's like kind of like middle-ish right now because it,
No, I think it's dropped in
You
like
think
what,
it's still-
summer time?
No,
Last
it's 2
summer?
years old.
It's two years?
It
It's
just
like
now got
mid-
like
Yeah,
it's a year
it's
ago.
That's
Really?
crazy. That's well. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna play a song once we finish up.
No,
You
I'd love to hear it.
you're gonna be like, oh,
Okay,
okay, because I'm pretty sure you definitely heard it before. They play it out on the radio. So.
I had to have heard it. I've had to have heard it. I
Definitely.
might have to do it anyways. Now that I might have to.
I
You know
think
what? I
you
should probably
should.
do it.
you're gonna vibe with it.
You
It's a
know,
vibe.
I think you
Okay.
should. That would be
I
dope.
think I could. I mean, if you're saying something that sounds similar.
No,
I mean,
yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
You should definitely do it. I've been trying to get you to perform
I know.
for the longest,
I know.
and it's like, it's okay. When will you be like willing to start doing performances again?
Very soon. I just think me performing, it's different than going up there with just like, a microphone. I need a full band. You know what I mean? Like, this is a showcase. Like, this is like, you know what I mean? Not saying other people ain't doing showcases, but what I'm saying, I need a drummer, I need a guitarist, just because I feel like if I go up there just me, then it looks a little different, you know what I mean? And I want it to be correct. I've been getting back into rehearsing too. I'm also like a perfectionist, you know what I mean? I don't want to go up there and, not do my best, is what I'm saying. So I want to be fully prepared, and I think, it's definitely coming along. It's just the repetitions, you know what I mean? Like rehearsing, getting back in that flow and getting that chemistry right, and it's definitely gonna come. I haven't performed since like before COVID. So it's like, and I've also been on like a hiatus, you know what I mean? I stopped doing music for a little bit too, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did. I don't, I think I break myself down to build myself back up to get a better product. I don't know. I've always done that. Because I think I'm better than what I was, a month ago or a year ago. You know what I mean? So, but it's definitely coming within this year or, early next year. It should be coming with, like I said, the repetitions, getting back comfortable out there and, making sure your look is right, your image. I think that's all important. So, but it's coming. It's definitely. I know you've been on my back about it.
Yes, I have.
I know you've been.
Yes, I have. Very much.
I
so.
know you have. I know you have.
Very much so.
So how much time do you think you put in towards actually preparing to do the covers for yourself?
I
That's actually a good question.
I think it's just a matter of like, hearing the song and like remembering it and like believing in it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I also do covers that I like. You know what I mean? Because people send me, like my friends send me covers and they're like, oh, you should cover this, you should cover that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that song. So it's like, I think it's whatever sticks with me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it probably takes like, it takes a few days just to hear it because I'll play it nonstop. I'll play the same song nonstop every day, just to make sure I get it. So when I go in there, I record it, it feels right. But I try to keep the time in the same place, so I keep that same vibe going. You know what I mean? Within a week at least a week. A few days, hear it, go in there, record it, shoot a little cover video, all within a week, just so it rolls out and the energy's right, the vibe's right. So try to get it done as quick as I can, but remember everything.
So you shoot a cover video for all of the covers that you do, or is it just certain covers, or do you have a certain way that you go about making the cover videos?
I think whatever cover video from now on whatever cover I do, it has to have a video. Just, it's content, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna do it, I don't want to just put it out there without having a face to that voice, you know what I mean? Because they're not gonna expect it. You're gonna hear my voice and then they're gonna look at me and they're gonna be like, oh, this doesn't look right. This doesn't add up at least, you know what I mean? So I think every cover I do should have at least, even a video on your phone or, you know what I mean, nothing crazy because I think that face to that song with that sound is important and it's good for content and it's good for the algorithms. So, but yeah, every cover I do will have a video.
So I feel that you're really into R&B. Give me your 5 all-time favorites.
Five all-time favorites.
You don't gotta put them in the order.
No, yeah, no order, no order. I mean, it's definitely Lloyd. I definitely go Lloyd. I definitely go. I like Neo. I like Dream. I like Chris Brown, and I'd probably have to go. I mean, I love Tory. I don't know if you say he's R&B, but he's like rap. He kind of spits too, so it's like. But he's got that voice.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
that voice is undeniable.
That's a fact.
So I would go with those 5. I mean, there's so many though. You know what I mean that I didn't name that I don't want to, leave off that list. But those are my 5. Right there.
Michael?
Right. I know. What? Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I think he's pop.
But he's
King of pop. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the greatest ever. You really want to get down to it. I mean.
Just have
You know
to
what
say
I
I don't
mean? No, of course he's the greatest of all time. Let's not get out of line. But for my age, you know what I mean? I'm naming Chris Brown, Neo, Dream. That's like what I grew up listening to.
Definitely, Neil's that guy. I actually haven't heard no music from Dream in a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah, listen, we had a vendor
That's
event
because he
earlier.
produces.
Yeah,
He's a producer.
he producing.
I feel like he writes a lot too. He does a
Yeah,
lot of
he's a writer,
writing. I
too.
mean, you'd be surprised some of the shit that's out now. It's like, oh, I didn't know he did that, or I didn't know Neo did that. You know what I mean? So. Oh yeah.
T-Pain is over here doing podcasts.
Yeah.
2
Killing it.
Chainz is over here doing his
His TV show.
yeah.
But he's getting, I don't understand, he's getting rich off of spending money. Like, them shits be expensive. Like a $10,000 ice cream cone. What the fuck? That shit's crazy.
Gold
Well, of course you know it has to do with food. Speaking of foods, I don't think I never asked no guest this, but I'm starting to like get out of my nutshell when it comes to like that shit. I can't eat no. I can't eat that.
I feel like you're in my head because you know what I was gonna say?
What?
I was gonna say I have a risky question.
You wanna go first?
No, but it's just funny because you thought the same thing. I was just like, see?
Is it about food?
No.
Okay. So whatever. So what would be your like ideal food to eat like while you're preparing preparing yourself to like get into work mode, right mode, whatever? Because I know there's certain artists that be like, yeah, I like sometimes I don't even eat, sometimes I just smoke, but some artists be like, yeah, I like breakfast food or something. You know what I mean? So
I do love breakfast, but my usual thing is I usually get tea. I like tea before I go in there and you know what I mean? Right before, it's always been a ritual for me. Like before I go to the studio, I always get tea with honey. I don't know if it's just, routine, but it's just something I do and it just feels right every time. But I mean, I do love breakfast. I love all food, honestly. All different cultures too of food. It's like, I love all that, so. But definitely tea before. Soothes you know what I mean? No?
yeah.
I'm not a big tea. For some reason, it's just before the studio. I drink coffee.
See, I don't drink that either. Hot chocolate though.
No, I mean, I like hot chocolate.
But
Hot chocolate's good.
You like in the days right now about that question. I really want you to ask that question because you was just in the days.
Because you know why? I was like heavily rephrasing it. There's no like when you edit your thought, just make sure like, all right, does it sound correct? You're saying it to yourself, your inner voice is just like, how does this sound? How does that sound?
She said it in her head and it came to like a little red line.
Yes, okay.
She backstage.
Okay. I was like,
Should I ask this question?
let's refrain. Okay. So, the question I wanted to ask you is, because
Oh shit.
let me.
Oh shit.
Okay. So the question I wanted to ask you is, because you say you do covers, there's obviously a lot of other people who do covers as well, but how do you push yourself in a way to make somebody wanna like see all of your covers or see the work that you've done?
I personally try to do what's relevant. I mean, for instance, like example, the Future cover, he just dropped his album. So I'm trying to do whatever, I try to jump on it as quick as I can. And I try to promote it as fast as I can put it out there, and little keywords and like bios and little things like that, and also promoting the targeting audiences, putting money into that, what town you're targeting your audience for. But I think it's really what's relevant, because I think that's what makes the algorithms put your thing out in the front line. You know what I mean? Pretty much just what's relevant. You know what I mean? There's a lot of old covers out. There's a lot of old songs I want to cover.
I'm gonna send you some.
There's so many. Like I was listening to like a couple Drake like albums today, and I'm like, why didn't I do these when I like back then? I'm like, I should have did them back then. I don't want to do them now, and they like randomly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do Teenage Fever right now. You know what I mean? I was thinking maybe I should do it on like the anniversary when he dropped the album. Like, oh, Drake dropped this album. This is this cover I did today. You know what I mean? But it's just so many. I'm like, damn, I should have did those.
The hidden gems.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tempted.
I want to do it, and I know them so well. Like, there's years of hearing it. So.
I still think you should do it. No, like you said, content is content. So.
That's it. And staying consistent. I think that's what's most important is consistency.
I'm about to ask you a trick question, but I feel like you didn't answer it anyway. Is there any covers that you did but you didn't drop yet?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I did a Young Thug cover, Hate the Game, and I was gonna release it, but I feel like the next day is when he caught the RICO charge, and I'm like, I don't want to put this out there to make it seem like I'm trying to get anything off of that. You know what I mean? It's funny because I was gonna. Well, it's not funny actually. The coincidence is crazy. It's like I was gonna drop it, and then the next day, and even my producer was like, "No, we can't drop that." And I'm like, "All right," but I do have a Tory Lanez cover, the Lady of Namek cover I did, that I'm probably gonna put out next week. I'm gonna do it, little cover, little selfie light. You know what I mean? I'll do that, and then now I'm on the hunt for the next cover. Pretty much, there's a Post Malone cover I might do.
Ooh, that would be good.
I think I might do that. There's so many. I just gotta focus and get on that one I'm gonna do and listen to it all day. I'll listen to it all day, repeat, just to get the words so I'm super comfortable. And then at that point I'm like, I'm trying to do it better than this dude did. You know what I mean? So
I think you should do like a 90s cover, like some songs from the 90s. That should be cool.
Yeah, I could definitely do it too. I know I could smoke it. I've been doing it for so long that I'm confident. You know what I mean? If you have any suggestions, send them over.
Oh no, you'll be getting some.
Send them over. I'll do them. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? This kid's doing this?
Definitely be getting some tonight. Definitely. That's dope. You still be playing basketball or not?
It's funny. It's like, I do when I can, to be honest. It's funny. Like, I seen a video today and people are like, oh, ball is life. And I'm like, when do I have the time? And second of all, where is there a gym? Because there's no gyms no more. I feel like they get rid of every
there's still gyms,
community center nowadays.
There's still gyms, but everybody be going outside the courts.
The court, yeah.
Like the basketball courts and whatnot.
Which is cool. I like balling outside. It's just like, I feel like all my friends that I did ball with, like, Joe Latrell, it's like I don't even hear from them anymore, you know what I mean? And they're still balling. And I'm like, shit, like...
Every day at that.
Every day, I know. I'm like, I'm like, I gotta get back out there. Like, you know what I mean? My legs are killing me. I'm like, Jesus, I need a couple stretches.
I mean, you wanna know what inspired me to get back? Like, it was probably, when you dropped that vid, Poppy, this nigga, he dropped the video, he hit like 10 in a row. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's about time I get back to the court 24/7. Yeah. Like, you see that shit? I'm like, yo, when the fuck you become a basketball player, nigga? Like, this nigga's, what the hell? Like, I remember that shit from Fenway, but that shit, I was like, yeah, he hit like 10 in a row, and he kept on backing up. I'm like, alright, bro, this nigga, yeah, I gotta go to court.
You know what's funny? What inspired me to get back in shape was the fact we were trying to run. We were trying to run to his house, right? Yo, I had my book bag on and everything. I was running. He's way ahead of me. I'm sitting here like trying to keep up. I was like, man, I'm in my head just mad thoughts were going, right? And I'm just like, he stopped. I stopped. He's like, what happened? I thought you used to do 3 miles. I was like, damn.
Yeah, see.
Damn.
You said 3 miles. I'm taking 10 steps. That's it. That's it. Like the blunt, after those 10 steps, you ain't getting nothing else after me. Fuck that. That's crazy. So what's next for my boy? I know it's giving you more covers.
No, definitely more cover. I have a whole EP done, a 7-track with an interlude EP. My thing is I'm not releasing it yet. I gotta build those social medias up first with the covers. I need to drop the consistent content first, then put it out. Cause I feel like I know guys that put out stuff all the time. You know what I mean? And it just goes like, it will be out for like a week, and they're like, oh, I dropped this, and then it just disappears. You know what I mean? I don't want, because I feel so high about it. You know what I mean? I love it so much. It's like I don't want to put that out there, and then the next day it's considered old. You know what I mean? Like I want to have that built up momentum, and then throw it out there, and they're like, whoa, like this is all original music. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what's important. And it's funny because I feel like people around me are kind of like not pressuring me to put that stuff out, but I'm like, why am I gonna just put this stuff out without any momentum and chemistry behind? This chemistry is there, but it's like we gotta build that. You know what I mean? Let's create this snowball. You know what I mean? And then once that drop, you know what I mean? I need an avalanche to happen now with the EP. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's all done. It's actually I'm actually getting it mastered. Actually, everything's recorded. So everything I'm getting mastered right now, and eventually, I mean, hopefully, maybe end of summer, early fall. I mean, it's kind of like summer music. That's why I'm like, damn, like, I don't want to just throw it out there. It's feel good music. You know what I mean? Like, I hear it, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't want to hear this at, 5 in the afternoon in November when it's dark out already. I'm like, Jesus, the sun's already down. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is summertime music. Like, so, but we'll see. I'm aiming for that. So just keep dropping the content, the covers. I think that's more important is the cover and originals. Throwing a couple original tracks in there just to hear, to give them that idea. But it's just the consistency part. The consistency, I think that's the most important thing. And then drop that EP and then work on the next one. You know what I mean? And then music videos too. Not just regular music video where I'm in front of a car or something. You know what I mean? I need like a whole a little mini movie. You know what I mean? Acting. I'm shooting a video that I'm acting as 4 different characters. I'm like a bouncer. I'm an Uber driver. I play a boyfriend of a lady. Something else too. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I like doing different things. You know what I mean? Stepping outside the box.
Definitely dope. So what advice would you give to up and coming? I feel like I'm taking your question right now.
That's crazy because I was gonna ask you that, and you know what? Stay out of my head. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's usually a question. I'm gonna take it anyway. So what advice would you give to up and coming artists, like R&B artists, stuff like yourself?
I would say just honestly stay consistent in network and travel. I mean, I think networking was one of my biggest mistakes when I was younger. Because honestly, I felt like I was too good to be around people. Like I couldn't. I just felt like I was so confident in my art that you should know me. I don't have to go talk to you, which is stupid. It's a dumb mindset to think. I mean, it's young and dumb stuff. So I would say, network, travel, and just stay consistent. I think that's the most important thing, and stay relevant. To be honest, like you know what I mean. And just be a good person. I think that's important. Don't be phony. Be yourself. That's another thing because I think people are acting. Majority of people are acting. I feel like you know what I mean. I think that's the most important thing, and I think people will realize that and see that, and they're gonna want to be around you. I think that type of energy you're gonna bring that energy out, and it's gonna attract you and attract people to you. So, I would say consistency and all that stuff I just said. I think that's important.
It's the Gushers.
That's what it was. It was the Gushers. That's what it was. That's gonna be the new routine. Gushers every time now. Keep the
Shout
Gushers
out
in the
Poppy from
stash.
Papa Store with the Gushers. Nino too. I know he got Gushers. He just can't see him. Hey, that's hilarious. Oh shoot! Because I got to touch this subject with you. Because I know you're a Celtics. You're a Celtics fan.
I am a Celtics fan.
I know you are. So you think they're gonna win the series?
I think it really I think it comes down to Jason Tatum. I think it comes down to him, to be honest. I really think.
I don't like that. Everybody, nah, it's Jaylen Brown.
No, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown can't be the Finals MVP. I think he needs to be. You got gushes over there?
She done found herself another goddamn Laffy Taffy. Probably the same one. It's the
It
same
was
one.
actually the same one from earlier, but it's not a Laffy Taffy, it's a Jolly Rancher.
It's like
Yeah,
the rapper
the
not
fast
even
ones,
coming
yeah.
off there. I'm like,
Again, that's hilarious. Like you said, come down to Jason.
I just think he's the, he's the captain of the boat. Even though I know Marcus Smart is their defensive leader, but I think it's gonna take him to, drive the ball and not shoot the ball as much. I think they need to drive to the basket, attack the hoop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like these guys are trying to outshoot the Warriors. You're not gonna outshoot Steph or Clay. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Even though Clay's kind of been he had a decent game the game before. I feel like
he's been off and on. He's like hit and miss right now.
he's kind of old. I feel like he's getting up there. He's getting up. I mean,
he's younger than Steph though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he younger? I mean, they gotta be 30s. Not saying 30's old, but
nah, Steph is what 33, 34. I think Clay's like.
what that means? Like,
what?
He's like, I'm 28. That's the only reason I'm saying.
Shit, I'm 28 too. Shit.
Feels good to be in the 20s.
It's a little bit. It's 2 more years. Well, a year and a couple more months for me. You feel me?
I'm 24.
Okay.
All right.
And righty then, asshole. Just shit on our age.
Right. 30's coming. 30's coming. Hey, 30's right there. I mean, 2 years.
You guys so sad.
I know it's it's
He
funny.
said, "Hey, 30's coming."
I know it's crazy. I feel like, but I will be better in my 30s.
Listen,
That's your prime.
I feel
That's
like
your
that's the real
prime.
prime.
20s are your preparations.
That's-
30s are your
When
prime.
I hit
That's
30,
what
I
I've been
might drop
noticing.
the craziest album ever. Who never knows? Who never knows? Whoever knows.
That's the name of your album.
Yup. Yeah, mark my words. In a year and 3 months, I'll be dropping the album called.
Whoever knows.
Whoever knows.
Hey, let them know where they can find you on all your social media platforms, buddy.
You can find me at Michael Keo _. Some Michael Keo 617 on all digital platforms, streaming digital platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and yeah.
You heard it here first. Hopefully he'll come back again to drop that EP. Word from it.
Yes, sir. Hopefully I perform soon.
Right, you feel me? Hopefully the fuck we.
Only
Yeah,
covers. No.
I'll be kind of dope though.
That would be.
I'll be
Like,
different.
damn, this kid's smoking all these.
You feel me? You never know. The Lil Wayne and R&B.
We gotta play a Jealous.
Oh yeah, we're
Gallus.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
We're definitely gonna play that.
Gallus.
We're definitely gonna play that. Gallus.
Thank
Gallus.
you. Thank you.
I should know. I feel like this is something I should
Once
know.
I play the song and it drops, you're gonna be like,
Oh.
He's
oh.
gonna hear the
okay,
first couple
okay.
seconds of the beat.
You're like, shit, I covered that actually.
Okay.
But you heard it here. You already know what it is. Another episode. Your motherfucking favorite podcast host, G Han Show. Talking to town.
Here with Miss Cologne.
It's her candy. The same candy from earlier, guys. My bro Mike. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for coming.
Definitely.
You already.
Appreciate that.
We out.